What's going on, guys? So today we're doing an EDC update. It has been a minute since I did one of these videos, so I figured I would talk about everything a little bit here. Big change for me really is a new upgraded phone. This is my old iPhone X, and now I have the iPhone 11 Pro Max, something, I forget. It's just a little bit bigger, has a couple more features. This is Christina's hand-me-down, which I'm very grateful for. She loves technical stuff. I can certainly appreciate a nice phone, but I don't care all that much about it. It's just when she gets a new one, it makes sense for me to take her old one. So that's a bigger change for me. It is different. What a pain in the butt it is to switch phones. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Maybe you do it more often than I do, but I only do it every, 2 or 3 years, something like that. And it's just kind of a pain. There's a lot going on with your phone. I just kind of forget that we all use them every day for everything, and there's just a ton of stuff you have to switch over. Anyway, so besides that, the wallet is always the same. I don't know when I'm actually going to change my wallet because I've had this for so long. This is the Saddleback leather trifold wallet with the strap. Believe it or not, this strap is still kicking. I really didn't think this would last this long. I've had this a number of years now. It's the same old wallet. Occasionally, I'll try some new things. I will say that I have a smaller wallet here, which I might use for, some day trips just to see how it is. This is beautiful, beautiful leather. The same person who had made this also made this nice custom watch strap for me, which we'll talk about maybe in a future video. So, phone, wallet, still carrying the Glock 43. With the TLR6 light from Streamlight. I love this. This is the one that clamps down onto the trigger guard here. All right, so it is very purposeful, very easy to use. Still carry a spare magazine with that. All right, which is actually, I think, a 12-round magazine, but I always do 10 just so there's a little less spring tension there. So God forbid I had to do some kind of mag change in some tactical scenario, which hopefully never happens. There won't be any issues with it seating properly. As far as watches go, just obviously showed the strap. This I put on this Timex. This is one that Christina got me, which I really love, which has the working chronographs. This is the old strap that went with it. And this is that nice new custom strap with the red, white, and blue. I also have one that is just white as well, which I haven't used yet. But super cool. My go-to watch, though, pretty much, if I'm just running to the store real quick, is this cheap little Casio. All right, this one I got in a trade. It's just it's a super cheap watch, but I like it. I don't know. It's super lightweight. Maybe that's what it is. But it looks like this is a SGW-10OB. All right, it's probably a $30 watch if I had to guess, maybe 40 bucks. Just works fine. And then when I want to dress up a little bit, I have my Invicta, which is mimicking a Rolex. This is the style of Rolex I always wanted, with the black bezel, just simple stainless steel. Maybe one day I'll get the Rolex, just one of those things. I mean, it's very expensive, obviously, but growing up in the 90s, that was the thing. If you had a Rolex, you made it. It made you feel cool. It's obviously a nice quality watch. It's a good timepiece itself, but it is like a branding that's a representation of wealth. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to pretend to be wealthy. If I'm not, it's just one of those things. It's the one watch I just always wanted. That's all. One day, maybe it's not. It's very, very low on my priority list as far as spending money. But who knows? Maybe down the road one day. It's just a bucket list item for me to have a Rolex, and that's just the style that I always loved. But yeah, actually, this was mistaken probably since I've gotten that watch. Maybe 4 or 5 times people said like, oh, nice Rolex. And I'm like, I wish. That's the look I'm going for, but it's got the wrong parts to be a Rolex and the wrong logo on it. But it is awesome. I mean, this one I think you can get on sale for like 60 bucks or something. It's normally like a $100 watch. It's not that much, but it actually works very well. Looks great, feels good. So that's what I wear when I want to feel a little extra classy, I suppose. So I also have, of course, my EDC Organizer. I still carry one all the time. This is the one I had today, and I kind of gravitate towards this setup a lot. I like the open bottom on this particular one, all right? So I don't even have to get the flashlight out sometimes. I'll just pull that out of the pocket and just do a quick little beep, boop, boop, just to see what I'm looking for here. But I do have other ones, so I went to grab those just to give you an idea that there are other setups here. I always like having a backup knife, but when I don't have these, I usually have something else, maybe fifth pocket in the jeans, or I'll have, you know, of course, my neck knife always. This one does not have a spare knife like the other ones do. But again, always have the neck knife no matter what. I always have a full-size folder that I'm probably testing, and oftentimes I have other knives that are like on my keys or something. It's just, I don't need all those knives, it's just fun to have. You know, I love knives. But this one has the flashlight, lighter, and pen. Pen gets used all the time. Fisher Space Pen, this is the bullet. Just love it. Obviously you could see this one has a pen in it. The same thing, Fisher Space Pen, Fisher Space Pen. There's a black one with a clip. Here's a brass one, Fisher Space Pen, right? So that's just, it's what I like using. It's small, convenient, writes well. But this one, lacking the knife, is not that big of a deal. I do like the lighter option and the flashlight, as you can see with these other setups here. All right, pen, flashlight, knife, pen, lighter knife. And this one is pen, lighter knife as well. All right, so again, just different looks, different feels. This one's awful heavy, excuse me, because of that extra big lanyard on there. The other one has a decent sized lanyard. They're just cool looking, but like I said, I gravitate towards this one a lot more than the other setups, and even more so than I have a larger setup, which is very nice, but it goes on the belt, and especially if I'm belt carrying a pistol, because you guys saw the Glock 43, which I only pocket carry, but sometimes I will belt carry my Glock 19, the Gen 3. Although rare, I have carried the Beretta. I have the M9 version, pretty standard. Full-size guns like that, I have to have on the hip, you know. And in the wintertime, occasionally I'll have that on the chest. I have a chest rig. But the only chest rig I have is for the Glock 19, which is just, it's very convenient. It's right there. It supports all that weight, but I can only really do that when I'm wearing a jacket. So although I'm changing up, you know, things here and there all the time, when it comes to pocket organizers, I would say probably 3 out of 5 times I'm on this one. I just like this setup. I use it all the time. So the light here is the Olight. This is the i3T EOS. One of the old school ones. All right, they're upgrading all their stuff now, but it works fine. Works great. Of course, the Bullet Space Pen, and then this is the lighter from Japan, the Douglas S. That's right. There's so much gear, so many names to remember. I love this lighter. Super cool. I like that it has the actual, you know, seals in it. All right, there's a lot of different little rubber O-rings and stuff that actually keep the fuel, because this takes traditional lighter fluid, but sometimes it'll dry out. Like I've had this in here, no joke, probably 5-6 months. Let's go ahead and see if it works. Unscrew this, because that's sealed as well. All right, pull that down. And there you go. And there it went. Disappeared on me. But as you can see, it does actually have a flame all these months later, whereas when I carry traditional Zippos, obviously those dry up. So I'll probably fill this up, man. I'm talking about it here. But this is super cool. I have a separate video on this as well. But when you unscrew the bottom cap here, there's a separate compartment with extra fuel for an emergency. And then if you unscrew the cap on the extra fuel, there's a spare flint for an emergency. It's just super, super cool. It's about $100 lighter. It works well. It looks good. It is premium quality. I mean, the fit and finish on it is phenomenal. But anyway, that's enough about that crap. It is wintertime, and I got big old lips. If you've seen me before, you've seen my lips. So I got to have some kind of chapstick. The Burt's Bees I got recently, like maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, from the grocery store. This is mint cocoa, so it tastes like chocolate mint, which is very nice. But I do like the Badger lip balms. All right, this is Highland mint. Really simple. It's funny because Christina recently was reading something about how, you know, mint is like the most common thing for chapstick, but it's actually drying. It dries your lips. It's not moisturizing at all. It's just everyone likes that feeling of fresh mint. It makes you feel fresh, like when you brush your teeth or something, you know. Super common, but it's actually not that productive as far as protecting your lips. Some of the other stuff in there will help protect your lips, but one of those things, if you want to research lip balm as what's good, what's not good for you. But these happen to work out fine. If I don't use anything, eventually my lips dry up pretty good and get like a little split in there or something. So you just got to take care of the old lips. All right, important stuff. So moving on, let's talk about the keys real quick. Huge with a bunch of unnecessary stuff, but that's just how I roll. Besides the actual keys, of course, I have the key fob for my car. I love having the keyless entry. I have to tell you, it is a life changer for me because number one, not having to take your keys in and out all the time when you're driving is pretty cool. I put this in the leg pocket of my cargo pants, which I'm usually wearing cargo pants. And I can bulk this up as much as I want, and it doesn't matter. I don't have to worry about it hanging off the ignition. I've made previous videos talking about that, you know, where it's a pain in the butt because I don't want to wear out my ignition. That's something that very well could happen. But anyway, besides that, this has kind of a story behind it. I'll give you the very quick version. My father, the job he used to work, his coworker, they used to always make bets because my dad's a Giants fan, his coworker was a Dallas Cowboys fan, and they're rivals, of course, but he was a really nice guy, and my dad really liked him and got along with him. I think he was the butcher for the grocery store my dad worked at. But anyway, he loved his football, and there was like a little machine there, like a candy machine, you know, a vending machine, and it had different key rings for different teams. So he'd like all the time try to get the Dallas Cowboy keychain, and he didn't. He just kept getting other teams over and over again. So eventually he had a collection of all the teams, and so he had doubles of, you know, this, that, and the other thing, and he ended up giving my dad the Giants one. My dad gave it to me. So I thought it was just a cool little story. It reminds me of my pops. So I like that on there, even though it's totally unnecessary, very 90s to have just like a big old, you know, a New York Giants tag or anything. But it's cool. It means something to me. Of course, flashlight here, totally beat the crap. I've had this OLED on here forever. This is the i1R2 EOS in like desert tan. Just works great. It's just nice to have a backup light. I always have other lights. You saw obviously in the my organizer I have a light. I always keep lights in my car. So there's just always a flashlight around. This is somewhat new, and I'm not going to talk about it too much in this video. This actually has a pen inside of it and a cutting tool. It's a very specific tool for something. Some of you guys might know what this is, maybe you don't, but there'll be a separate video, so I'm not going to go into detail. Then I have the ResqMe on my keys just because I came across it, and why not? This is literally the best version. If you need something to break out of your car, has an automatic punch, which I'm not going to use because I don't want to punch on my finger. But spring load, you push down, it'll break the glass in your car very easily. And then of course you can just pull this thing right off of here to expose that strap cutter for your seatbelt. Super cool, very high vis, just have it on there. Then I have an air tag here. I use this is the best image I can find on there for you know, don't tread on me. And that's obvious, that's in case I lose my keys, I can find it. This, I can't tell you what it is, some kind of security thing. I can't go over right now. I still have this in the keys. This never opened up, which I love, I'm glad. I got this in a Going Gear EDC club. One of the months there had this. I forget who makes it. You can reference one of those videos, but it is awesome. I only used it twice, but I really needed a very fine blade both times. And that was there for me. So very secure, not worried about it opening. Hasn't opened yet. Handcuff key, because you never know if you're going to be abducted. Be careful though, some states don't allow you to carry an air cuff. I'm looking at the air tag. They don't allow you to carry or possess a handcuff key because they think you're going to try to break away from your handcuffs when you're arrested by the police. But that's not the only scenario that can happen. So, also, I still do carry a set of professional handcuffs in my vehicle for who knows what random situation I might need them. So obviously I have to have a key. I actually keep a key in the car as well because the last thing I want to do is handcuff something and not be able to open it. So now we are left with just the blades. So here's the brand new blade. Just got this a couple days ago. The Civivi NOX. All right, super, super cool. Nice Damascus blade. Beautiful, and will be somewhat affordable as well in the future. That marble carbon fiber looking nice. So that's the brand new one. Not much to say about it because I haven't carried it much. This one I haven't carried a ton. You guys are going to see a video on this soon. This is a Cancept Delta. You can see all that tape residue. Did a lot of cardboard the other day, so I haven't cleaned it off yet. Something I hate about this knife. I love the knife, but there's one thing I hate about it, and you will hear all about it when I do the video on it. And then another newer EDC knife, which I've been using a lot. This is the Demko, the AD 20.5. This has the BladeHQ exclusive jade handles on here. Super cool though, so you guys will see more about that in the future. And that pretty much wraps up the video. So, you know, I used to make EDC videos a lot more often. I haven't done them as much, you know, probably in the last year or two. I'll try to do these a little bit more often, especially as things change. But like, you know, the wallet's always the same, the phone's the same for years. The guns are usually the same. I'm getting guns all the time, although I do have some other options now. You know, the watch, sometimes I'll have a Zippo, sometimes I won't, sometimes, you know, this, that, and the other thing. It's just one of those things. I will show you something else that's in my wallet that I've carried for a long time now. I don't know if I've shown it before, but I do love it. I used to keep a Silver Eagle in my wallet, and I don't keep a Silver Eagle in my wallet anymore. I keep this copper round, okay? So on the one side it says 1 ABDP ounce, all right, 999 fine copper. And the other side, one of the coolest little sayings that I really love. I really do love this. If you haven't seen this before, it says Memento Mori. It has a skull on there. Memento Mori is Latin. It translates to something along the lines of you're going to die. That sounds pretty depressing, but it's not. It's actually a reminder that life is short, to enjoy life, to love and help others. I mean, it means something different to some people, but really for me, I think the original meaning for this was to not care about possessions. You're gonna die. You can't take your cool car with you when you die. You can't take your cool guns, your cool knives. You can't take your big pool you had put in your house. It's just one of those things where you're supposed to focus on experiences and having a purpose in life. You know, I think that's the original meaning behind it. And that's what I think of when I look at this, but it's really just a reminder to enjoy what we have, because before you know it, it's gone. Life is not all that long when you really think about it. And a lot of times we get caught up in the stupid stuff, the drama, the things that are just not important. And so I love that. I love it because if I ever want to do a coin toss or something, although I'm sure you can, you know, Google it for 2 seconds, you know, ask Siri, and then you can do a virtual coin toss. But I like having a real coin in there. Once in a blue moon, if I get some kind of lottery ticket, scratch-off ticket or something like that, I got a cool little thing to scratch it with. But it's just a reminder. It's a reminder that we're all going to die. And that's supposed to be not negative and horrible. It's supposed to be uplifting and wonderful to make every day count. To turn to your loved ones and give them a big old hug and a big kiss. Tell your buddies that you appreciate them, you know. It's just one of those things, you know. Life really is short, so you have to enjoy it. Don't get bogged down by all the bull crap. Ever since the pandemic started, there's a lot of anxiety, depression, suicide rates up, you know, job loss, the whole thing. And it's pretty depressing life for a lot of people, but you have to really focus on what you have, not what you don't have, you know. Things that you could do, not the things you can't do. Things you already own instead of the things that you want to buy. You know, you just have to appreciate what's there, you know, because it can get pretty depressing when you really start thinking about things, the political environment, everything. So I'm not going to drag this ending on. I just wanted to say that that's something that I appreciate, that I think about occasionally. And it makes me enjoy my day more because, you know, it's very easy to sit back and go, yeah, I really wish I had that $500 knife, but I don't. I really wish my car was a Maserati or a Lamborghini or something, but it's not. I really wish I had a girlfriend, but I don't. I really wish I had $1 million, but I don't. That gets depressing. You can't think that way. You have to think about what you have. And if you want more in life, you have to go get it. No one's going to give it to you. You have to work hard and strive for it. And when you do work hard for something, you really, really appreciate it. So just your little reminder there that no matter who you are or where you're from, you have a good life compared to someone else. And you are much happier than someone else. There's always going to be someone with more. There's always going to be someone with less. All right, but you have to focus on you and what's important to you. And usually for people, it's family, it's friends, it's experiences. It's not stuff. You know, a lot of the stuff that I show on these videos, you know, I show stuff. That's my whole channel. Knives and gear and you know, stuff. Now, I'll give you another example too, is like recently I'm focusing a lot on silver and gold, precious metals, things like that. Yeah, it's cool. It's fun. It's fun to have and look at. But the real reason behind it is so that I have some money in the future. And I can convert that to money. And I can use that money for my family. And that's why I have it, you know. It's cool. It's cool to have really nice tools and gear and to, you know, functional stuff. These knives I use, you know, I cut stuff when I need to cut it. It's all great, right? But it's just stuff. It's just stuff. At the end of the day, none of this is important. None of it. Your family, your friends, your health. That's what I'm trying to focus on a lot this year is my health. That's what's important. So that's what you guys should be focusing on. All right. Don't always worry about the next cool knife that comes out. Anyway, I'm not going to preach to you. I'm not your daddy, you know, but there are a lot of people out there that might not have as much guidance as they deserve. So hopefully that meant something to someone. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. And yeah, it's probably going to be more stuff. Hopefully you enjoy it. Take care.